Oh,
Now let me add the thumbnail and we'll get good to go.
wish I could put it up on my monitor, but that's means.
Computer might blow up.
Already sounds like it's gonna blow up. It started, yep. Are we live?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it always starts humming.
I wonder why,
When we
because
go
your
live.
computer is
I
not
think
doing anything for the live.
I didn't
Like
think so.
like it's that's strange. All right. Right on time. Five. Good thing we don't announce the times anymore. Are we live? Yeah. Come on, YouTube. Show me my own podcast. There it is. All right.
Oh, me and the monkey.
Yep. Putting it on my Snapchat, then I'm good to go. Take a sip of water.
Oh, are you go to work if the government shuts down?
Yeah, I think so. Because I don't think the state government shuts down.
Oh, that's right.
Which, I mean, of course, I'm happy to get paid, but would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Before we get, I mean, I guess we're already live, but I don't get paid on holidays, which is so annoying. Because I'm a contractor technically still. I'm not like they didn't give me a PIN number, which means like I'm like full-time employee. And like basically the
Uh,
only difference is that I don't get paid. I don't get paid overtime because they don't want to pay me overtime. So like basically they force me to
right.
leave. And then they don't pay me on holidays.
That's a ripoff.
It's a ripoff. It's like I'll just take this day, like let me just take another day off. Like I'd rather take a different day off at some points.
So
But
do you get PTO, like do you get paid time off, like vacation days?
yeah, I do, but I have to like earn it. Like I have to
Right.
work. Yeah, yeah. Like but like it's like a
Yeah.
such a fraction of amount. Like I work like I probably have I think I have like maybe 8 hours. I've used
Out.
I've used 2 days maybe.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Anyways, um, let's get started in three, two, and one. Hello and welcome to the Wise Guys Podcast. I'm your host, Brady Fitzgerald, joined as always by my co-host, Chris Hagan.
How you guys doing?
Doing great, Chris. This is our only pod of the week. We will have clips the rest of the week. So we have a lot to cover. We got last week's NFL. We got wise picks at the end. And we got a little bit of baseball, depending on how long we go. But we're getting right into it. We're going off the wise picks. Let's start with the wise bowl. Um, I I won the wise bowl. The Bears plus 1.5 off the blocked field goal right at the end. Um, it was it was a sloppy game at first, and then it kind of just they just kept scoring. Like I didn't expect them to score as much as they did. That's kind of what I was thinking here. The Bears
Yeah, I mean the
offense looked
Raiders
decent.
Raiders definitely looked more competent than they've looked the last 2 weeks, and I think that's kind of like that's why I made the Raiders pick because I felt like they were due for at least a decent performance, especially against a poopy Bears defense. And like they finally got Genty going, which was cool to see. Um, but yeah, just a devastating end for any Raiders better.
The three Geno interceptions are just that's not what you want to see against as you said a poopy Bears defense. Which surprisingly, I was listening to a stat today that they're number one in third down defense this year.
The Bears are.
The Bears. So first and second down is where you got to make your money against the Bears. because third down
It's probably because
apparently they lock in.
Lions probably didn't have a single third down all game.
That is probably true. Probably true. Um, Gino, I mean, this is why I kind of bet against him. Like they finally got Genty going. He looked awesome. He looked like he was doing the Michael Myers stance. Like he was looking like he was in Boise. And but he's just not good. Like he lit up the Pats and hasn't done anything since.
Yeah, and he is like, I feel like with quarterbacks of his caliber, the best thing that we can always say is like, well, at least he didn't lose them the game. Like, just keep him in it, protect the football. But he actively loses them games. And
Yeah.
it was happening in Seattle too, where like play a pretty good game and then he just throw the worst interception you'll ever see in the fourth quarter that completely takes him out of the game. So I feel like that's like obviously it's a pretty major thing holding him back, but that's like one of the main reasons why he's never taken that step forward is because he just does not protect the ball in important situations. So
Yeah,
they're
and
not in a good spot. They're gonna have a
that's
rough year.
that's kind of like why like during when the off-season signing happened where I was like I get it, he's an adult. He's not like a rookie you have to train. You don't have to take a rookie in the sixth pick, especially with a weak quarterback class. And it's some guy that next year when they have a quarterback that they do draft, they'll have Gino behind or he'll be behind Gino for at least another year, maybe even like a couple games. But just an
Mhm.
adult that can try to run the offense. But yeah, there's some nasty throws from him, some overthrows, some interceptions. Um, it was great to see Genty going. I had him in fantasy, so that was excellent. Um, and he saved my season. It feels like because it seems like even if the offense slows down for the Raiders, they figured out how to block for Genty, and it could be against a
Mhm.
bad Bears run defense, but the just that sign of life was something we needed. I really thought the Bears were going to be able to run a little bit more, especially with what the Commanders did against against the Raiders, but DeAndre Swift stinks. He stinks. Um, and
Which shouldn't be
otherwise
a
though, the
surprise.
Bears
Like we
offense
kind of
looked
know who
decent.
this guy is for years now.
Yeah, and he was out from the Lions when Ben Johnson came in. So it was
Mhm.
that awkward situation where it's like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And it still hasn't panned out. Did you see the Ben Johnson interview at halftime?
Mm-mm.
I wish I had the quote verbatim, but like the announcer, she's talking, and meanwhile Ben Johnson's like kind of talking over her the whole time, and then
Mhm.
she asks, which normally they ask when the losing coach is interviewed at halftime, but like, do things need to change? And he kind of said it in a way, and he was talking over her. She kind of said it in a way that was like more of a suggestion, like things need to change instead of uh, do things need to change. And he was just like gave this snarky response of like, we'll be just fine, and just like mean mugged her and then like walked away. Um, and people were like reacting to it, and we've seen Ben Johnson in all these interviews. He just seems like that's him, like that's his personality. Like
Yes.
he's a direct guy. He doesn't really like fluff out
He doesn't have
his
thick
his
skin.
answers. No, I don't think yeah,
Like
but I don't even think it's that.
he gets his he gets defensive
He does get
feelings
defensive.
there.
Yes, yes, he does get defensive. Um, but he did have a good quote after the game. That was he said, "I'm here to coach the players, not be their friends." And I thought that was a really really good quote that I would want to hear from my head coach or anyone that is coaching a team. Um, but yeah, the Bears offense. I mean, they scored a lot of field goals, but it kept them in the game, and they did just enough to squeak out a win here. Um, I don't really have it too much else. Because both like it's funny. There was a lot of points, but both offenses didn't look like Genty was the story of this game.
Yeah, and like Caleb really did not have that good of a game.
No, he wasn't great. He played well,
But
but
they
he
did go
wasn't
down
great.
and score.
Sorry, say again.
They did go down and score points when it mattered.
Yes,
But it does help when the other quarterback turns it over 3 times.
always helps. All right, we'll go. Where do you want to go here? Do you want to go to Dart? You want me to you want me to gush over the Pats? What do you want to do?
Uh, let's get the losses out of the way. We can do Dart.
All right.
I can't believe the Chargers only put up 18 points.
Well,
I didn't have this game on until the end.
they kept turning over the ball. It was turnovers. It was like
Yeah.
I mean, two interceptions from Justin Herbert is something. I think he had three all of last year. Uh,
Hmm.
People are going to be raving about Jackson Dart, and we've already seen it. And he got a win in his first start. He got a rushing touchdown. He got a passing touchdown. It actually looked good rushing. Um, but
That's the juice
it
that
is
we
the
talked
juice.
about beforehand. That
Yes,
was the juice.
and he did fine. He did fine. It wasn't anything
Mhm.
that this wasn't no Hall of Fame performance in his first start. And they got the ball on the 4-yard line against the Chargers, and then got a holding penalty and got it back to the 9, 14 or whatever. And then they kicked the field goal. And then they got the ball again at the 5-yard line. And so that those two instances it really was the whole game. And then the offensive line for the Chargers went out. Joe Alt got injured. So after that, it was just defensive swarming all over Justin Herbert. And that's how you end up with 18 points. Hampton looked good. He looked really good. There was another
Yep.
Quentin Johnson touchdown. I think he's like the fifth fantasy wide receiver, maybe the fourth. Uh,
Fourth.
yeah.
I mean, that dude's getting like 13 targets a game.
Yeah, it's
It's
insane.
absurd. It's not like these are fluke games anymore. Like he's just become wide receiver one, which is so strange for like how good of a connection Herbert had with McConkey last year.
It is.
And
And
Keenan Allen getting in there too.
yeah, and I feel bad for McConkey drafters in fantasy because I mean, he was just everything for the Chargers last year. And it's funny because it kind of makes sense. Like you bring in two other wide receivers, or not bring in, you give more confidence to Quentin Johnson. You bring in Keenan Allen, who already had a connection with Herbert. But I think everyone just thought it didn't matter because of how much they used McConkey in the past, and the it just he's kind of third fiddle right now. Like he's the slot guy that when he's open, and they give him the ball. But he's not the first read. He might even be the third read going into the rest of the season. I still think he's a great player, and I don't think these stat lines aren't going to define him as a player going on in his career. But it is definitely a disappointing fantasy season for him so far. Speaking of disappointing
Back to Dart.
fantasy, no, I was going to go to
He
neighbors.
had. Oh, I was just gonna say he had 111
Yes, yeah,
yards.
yeah,
Yes, they won the game. But like, if I'm a Giants fan, like, I'm not complaining about anything. You won a game. You probably thought you had no chance to win this game. You just wanted him to look decent. Um, Scoring 2 touchdowns and winning the football game is plenty for
Yep.
a rookie quarterback. But
no turnovers.
from Jarrett's, yeah.
Yes, that just needs to be kept in mind and kept in check because there will be. I'm sure there was a lot of shows yesterday and today that were like, Jard has arrived, like it's his time, and he's going to
When you
be.
look on ESPN, the headline is like Giants beat Chargers behind Dart's impressive debut.
Yeah, and it's like that's not the truth. It was a lot of Cam Scatterbo. It was a lot of him rushing Jackson Dart, which is impressive. Um, and he did the minimal amount that he needed to do, and it worked out. It's what
Yeah,
you want. It worked out.
right. It's
Um,
nothing. Yeah, it's nothing against him.
the he does have that kind of like when we were talking about JJ McCarthy, that kind of like swagger to him and like the cadence to him.
Yeah, like the anti Daniel Jones.
Yes, yes. Um, well, Malik Neighbors, another victim to MetLife Stadium. It's getting ridiculous how many people have gotten injured at MetLife. I think you can go down the list, and there's been since probably 20, maybe 2010, 2011, that someone has torn their ACL at MetLife uh, once a year. So I mean, we talked about turf, I think, a little bit last time, right, with the Cam Ward quote, and this is maybe that was another conversation, but I feel like it was on the pod. But the turf stuff, you practice on grass, then you go to turf. Um, I don't know. I'm anti-turf. I'm anti-turf. I want to see these guys healthy. It'll be disappointing. Like,
The only people with true turf are the people that are putting it in because it's cheaper.
yes,
You don't have to
and
maintain
concert
it,
venues, right? Like that's the main thing. It's like concerts want the turf so you can wheel it out.
probably.
It's it's frustrating because I want to see players like Malik Neighbors on the Giants and see how he connects with Dart the rest of the year, and we won't be able to
Right.
get that because he is out for the season with a torn ACL. So that is it's a shame. But
Yep.
so also, I had mentioned the Giants started at the 5-yard line twice. Cam Scatterbo gets a touchdown on one of those. We win our touchdown parlay, and you win this pick. So that was frustrating. That was very, very frustrating.
Yep. Yeah, we were
Um,
very, very close.
and then in the fourth quarter, I'm listening in the car. I'm driving home from my cousin's soccer game. My aunt's a Giants fan, so she has it on the radio while I'm watching the Pats and other games on my phone. So I was listening to it, and it was the whole fourth quarter, and I was just like, "Come on, somebody score a
So
point!"
painful.
Like
So
literally, just
painful.
like we need like a
I
what?
thought there
We
was
needed
no way
5
the Chargers
points.
would not march down the field and score a touchdown at the end of that game.
I know. It was so frustrating. Um,
It was
but
18-21. It was the same score going into the fourth quarter.
yes.
We literally just needed one more touchdown.
Yep. Yep. And I was like, even if the Giants won and they got 28 points, I was like this Scatterbo or a touchdown of any sort. At least the only loss would be the Wise Bowl. And at that point, I was like, Packers have it in the bag. Like there's no like I might go 3-0 this week, and because I knew the Ravens and the Chiefs would go over, but
Yeah.
ugh, frustrating stuff. Um, all right. Speaking of Kansas City, Baltimore, another loss for Baltimore. We talked about how big this game would be for the Chiefs. They they looked great. I mean, Mahomes looked like Mahomes that we were expecting at the beginning of the year, passing it, uh, 4 passing touchdowns. He wasn't the leading rusher. Funny enough, it was Xavier Worthy who was the leading rusher of this game, but he only had 5 yards
Those running
rushing, which
back
is a good
numbers are
sign.
so bad.
What'd you say?
13 for 34 for Kareem Hunt.
Oh yeah, their running backs stink. Like at least Pacheco got a little bit of carries. Like he got like 5 yards of carry. He got a little bit going on, but that's still. I mean, I don't know.
Uh,
I don't know what their running attack is. They don't practice it according to the guys in the first game. So
are you gonna eat your words on Xavier Worthy being healthy? You
yeah,
said that he would get hit and then he started off.
yes, I did. I did think that
He
he would
looked
get hit.
fine.
He looked great. He looked absolutely great. Um, I mean, I have him in our dynasty league, so I'm rooting for him. Um,
Yep.
and I believe I have him in another league too. So I'm rooting for him. It's I didn't wish an injury. I just was worrisome that his shoulder would get popped again by a defender, which still, knock on
I
wood,
guess
might
it
still
still could.
happen.
Yeah.
But this game, it did not. The the Ravens defense got absolutely decimated yet again. They lost a bunch of injuries. I think their top 6 highest paid players are all injured. So it's not a good sign for the
Not good.
Ravens. Do you want to guess
Nope.
what they are to win the division? This was before the Lamar news. Let me look it up while you guess.
I mean, I guess the Steelers have to be the favorite now with Burrow's injury. They still well, I guess now with the Lamar news. Are they still favorites before the Lamar news?
Before the Lamar news, they were minus 200 to win the division, which was crazy.
That's crazy.
Oh, you want to guess what they are now
The
based off
Steelers,
that?
what, plus 175?
Minus 155. There's no love for the Steelers. Absolutely no love for the Bengals or the Browns, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But the Baltimore Ravens are still
I
minus
think the Steelers is
155.
a good bet.
Yeah, they're plus 195 to win the division. When it was minus 200, that was still a bad bet, and it's still bad. I think it's still a bad bet. Like, why would you bet on Cooper Rush to even hold his own for the next 3 games? And we've seen him do it in
Mhm.
Dallas, but that's just not. Maybe the Ravens completely switch up their offense to be a passing first offense, but it doesn't seem likely that that's gonna work out for them. especially with the
Yeah,
defense being decimated as it is. Matabuke is
you gotta get back just, like, feeding Derrick Henry. Like, I don't know if it's still and he's had such a slow start to the year for his standards, but, like, I mean, just start giving him 25 carries a game, and you'd think they'd be able to, shorten some of these games up, and help their defense out a little bit. But I guess when some of your best defenders are out and some of the guys that you brought in look like poop and kind of tough. I mean, they've given up the most points in the league by probably by a lot after this week. And 30
yeah,
plus every week,
besides the
except for
Browns
the
one.
Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The and now we see Dylan Gabriel is the Brown starter, so maybe maybe that game gets flipped if he's the starter the whole time. Um, because he went right in there and scored a touchdown right when he got subbed in garbage time. Um, Matabuke is out for the season. I think Woquan Smith is
Yeah.
out for a game or two. Marlon Humphrey's
Is
out for a
Stanley
game or
out?
two. I
Is he not one of the top
he
six
has to be.
guys?
Yeah, he has to be top. Well, stop this, guys. I'm looking it up. Ronnie, Ethan's yelling if he's in the comments. Um,
Check on it.
I'm looking at it right now. He exited with with an ankle injury, so I'm guessing he's going to be out for at least. So he left this game. That's what the top six players are. He's still questionable for the week. And doing this now, I mean, it's early in the week, so we'll have to see how he's feeling. But with
Mhm.
an ankle injury,
That's
with a
true.
big guy like that, I'm assuming that he will not be playing.
Yeah.
So it's
One of those seasons. It feels like every couple years they have one of these seasons.
it's like every other year. That's the issue. It seems like literally every and last year it was the healthiest they've ever been, and they still came up short. Um,
Well, back to back years, right? Like they're the 1 seed 2 years ago.
yeah, that's true. There's probably some. I can't remember their injuries off the top of my head right now, but there's probably some sort of injuries that they had. But yeah, it seems like every 3 years, every 2 years, they just completely get decimated on injuries. And I don't know. I like that. Like they're not. They have depth. Like they're not.
Mhm.
It's not like they're the Cowboys here. But when you look at it, like there's some guys. I think almost their whole D line is like their whole D line's decimated. So it's uh it's gonna be tough sledding for the Ravens here. They have the Texans up next, and then the Rams. So their next break of a game, if you could even call it that. They have a bye week, and then their next break of a game, if you can call it that, is the Bears. But we'll see what the Bears look like at that point.
Bye week is going to be huge.
Yes, it is gonna be huge.
They
Then
can
they
just go
play.
1-1. Like, don't drop to 1-5. If you
Oh,
can get to 2-4 and go into the bye, like you got a fighter's chance.
yes.
The 1-5 is that's rough. You're banking on the Steelers to collapse.
They when they're going into that bye, and then immediately after the bye, they have the Bears, and then they have a short week with the Dolphins on Thursday night. So at least it's not like a great team or a good team even. But boy, is that going to be like a short week is bad. That's gonna be rough for them. Yeah, they need to sneak out one of these wins coming out soon. Especially if Lamar is out. It seems to be 2 to 3 weeks. It seems so. And honestly, like if they have some sort of defensive personnel, they can get after CJ Stroud next week and try to rough him up a little bit. It all depends. But that defense is gonna swallow up Super Rush. Like that defense is fantastic. So it's a tough road sledding, but if they can squeak out one of these wins, I think they'll be right on track. And then it's a lot of divisional opponents, the Jets, the Vikings, the Pats. Those are all winnable games until you get to December 27th, which is the Packers. So, which might be a winnable game. And we saw their defense get completely shredded by the Cowboys. Um, which I guess that's a perfect transition. Look at that. Um, the Green Bay Packers tied on Sunday Night Football with the Dallas Cowboys. Michael Parsons' revenge game was, I mean, he didn't do much. He got technically one
Yeah.
sack um, at the end of the game. And people with this game, we're bitching about oh, this is why we don't need the equal opportunity overtime rules. And I was like, they didn't even use the equal opportunity overtime rules. Like same result would have happened if the rules didn't
Right. They
change
couldn't
or if
score
it did.
touchdowns.
So it was that was annoying to hear about because like I just saw one tweet that got like a bunch of retweets and likes, and it was like it didn't happen. Like if it happened, I'm on board because I don't like the equal opportunity either, but it didn't happen. So
Mhm.
um that was annoying to see. And but that tie was incredible, honestly. It was a fantastic game. I mean, 40-40. The Packers kind of collapsed in the second quarter after getting a extra point blocked.
Yep, that changed the whole game.
Yeah.
It literally felt like they scored that second touchdown and it was like, "This game is a total wash.
Hmm.
Dallas has no chance in this game." And even after the block kick, I was like they were, like, cutting to the Cowboy fans who are all, like, up and rowdy, and I was like, "I get you just scored 2 points, but, like, still down by 2 touchdowns. You looked awful so far," but I was wrong. I mean, did they end up taking the lead at half?
Yes, they were up
Was it
16 to 13.
16-13? That, unfortunately, is when I called it a night.
Well, the second half it was just score after score after score, and
Mhm.
the Packers got right into field goal range at the end to tie it up. Um, or I forget they might have gotten a touchdown to tie it up. I'm blanking, but I mean, both teams were just firing on all cylinders, and Dak was making these incredible throws to keep them in the game and keep them like a chance to win in regulation. And
Mhm.
I mean, there was this one throw that he was out of the pocket. He just hauled it to Tolbert, and Tolbert had to come back from the end zone and then catch it with he toe tapped the sidelines. Um, it was an incredible play. Pickens was making play after play. He looked incredible, and
Yep.
it was I mean I mean it's sad that it ended in a tie because it was such an electric game. It was a Sunday night football game.
It is sad, but it's funny because it doesn't feel like a tie, it feels like the Cowboys beat them.
Yes, it's definitely a
Like,
Packers loss.
especially with all the Micah Parsons stuff and, the fact that they jumped on them early and that they were big favorites. Yeah, it it feels like the Cowboys won this game. And
That
I think they're
100%.
probably like, if I'm a Cowboys fan, that's what I feel like too.
Yep.
Like, we should not have beaten this team, and I'm sure the Packer fans feel the same way.
And the what was I gonna say? The every time that they're on the 1 yard line, Romeo Dobbs is just wide open every time. Um, and he had 3 touchdowns. He was making incredible plays. Josh Jacobs, I was talking to you before we started, just completely flipped my fantasy night. I had like a 90% winning chance, and Josh Jacobs came out and completely decimated my team. Um, he had 71 yards receiving, 22 carries for 86 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Um, and this, I was texting my friend, and I was like, "Why don't I just take good players that score touchdowns on good teams?" Like everyone thinks like they're trying to find the next guy, the next Josh Jacobs, and it's like this guy just all he does is score touchdowns on the Packers, and he plays excellent and like James Cook. Like why didn't I take James Cook? Like that
Yeah,
guy.
I was a James Cook hater this this year. It's because he scored too many touchdowns last year.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
Everyone's
"There's
like
no way he's."
he's gonna regress. He's gonna regress back to the mean, like touchdown regression. And it's like, shut up, nerds.
Yeah.
Like this guy just freaking all he does is get
It's like, that's
touchdowns.
touchdown regression is all good and fun, but then you remember that he's on the Bills,
Yeah.
who are always in the red zone, and they don't have, like, stud receivers or tight ends that soak up touchdowns.
Yep.
Like, Josh Allen is the touchdown vulture, but, like, other than that, he's the guy to score, and they don't like, he's a workhorse, so, yeah. I think we definitely overthought. I overthink fantasy every year. I think I'm so
Yes.
smart,
Yep.
and it's like, you just, like, pick the guy that you know is good. Like, why are we reaching on rookie running backs?
No, and the same thing for Josh Jacobs. Like they don't have the number one guy. They don't have their red zone threat. Like Tucker Craft, I did feel bad for Tucker Craft, and especially if you bet on him or have him in fantasy, he got stopped at the 1 yard line twice, 2 times, which was brutal. But Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like a win for the Cowboys. The Packers at that they threw it was 3rd and 14 in overtime with 20 seconds left. Uh, and they threw the ball with I mean, they didn't spike it. I thought they were gonna have to spike it to kick a field goal. They threw the ball in the end zone. It hits the Cowboys defender, and then the clock stops. So like they literally had 1 second left. And it's funny because like if it was a college game or there was a little chicanery with the clock management, like it would be over. It would be absolutely over.
Right.
Um, but they had 1 second left and they scored a gimme field goal to tie it. Um, which was it was exciting to watch. And I was like, you never like if a tie happens, like it's maybe at 1 p.m. and you're like, all right, there's a bunch of other games going on. You're like, and then it's like, oh, they ended up in a
Mhm.
tie. Like it's probably like it's normally like two stinky teams. And this was 40-40 scoregami, absolute tie. Um, so it was the best. It was the best tie I've ever seen. But it was
40-40 is such a crazy scoregami.
right. Um, it was it was the best tie I've ever seen. But it was disappointing. It just didn't have like
You
I
gotta
wish there
get
was
rid
some
of that, right?
satisfaction. Yes. What's wrong with college
Like
overtime?
maybe and if you wanna keep regular overtime for the playoffs, like, for all of you purists, if that's what you wanna call it, like, what the NHL does, where they have a different overtime format for regular season and playoffs. Like, there's so few overtime games anyway, like,
Yeah.
not that much.
And normally they don't end in a tie. Normally, there's a touchdown and then
Yeah,
there's a stop or there's yeah. The
yeah.
what if they had a kickoff? Just to kick like, "We're gonna keep pushing you back." I mean, Aubrey would be he would be insane for that, and it would be bad for
Yeah,
the Packers, but just imagine, like, 2 mid kickers, and it's like, "We're just gonna keep pushing you back." 40-yard line, 50-yard line,
yeah,
60-yard
that'd
line.
be sweet.
Yeah, and then it ends up like it ends off but then they probably what would realistically happen is, I guess, if they both made the 60-yarder, then they would both just miss the 70-yarder and they would be back to a tie. So maybe that's not the good way to do it.
No, then you move them. I say you just keep making them kick.
Just keep making
Move
them
'em
kick
back up to
70s.
50. Yeah.
Okay. Um, but I don't know what's wrong with the even the 2-point conversion version of college overtime. Like I know that's people don't like that because the scores don't get
Yeah, I don't
insane.
like
I don't like it either, but why can't the NFL at least adopt that for these instances where there's gonna be a freaking tie?
yeah, right. No ties.
Yeah,
Ties are bad for
I'm anti-tie. Um, it'll be good for your division if the Cowboys rip off some games. They'll have that one.
yes.
Um, all right, but yeah, that was a Packers loss. Um, so that was a bad wise pick by me. I thought they were gonna roll them. Your Patriots -5.5.
My Patriots.
Yeah, yeah, -5.5. Um, they were
I said it looked
incredible.
great.
They were incredible.
It
Um,
was like this was the Bryce Young welcome back. Welcome
yes,
back.
yes. Um,
How good did it
it,
feel though to have to hang a 40?
it was the best Pats game in like 5 years. I'm not even joking. And I know, like, I want to phrase, I know it was against the Panthers. I know the rest of the season's going to be a little more difficult than that, but man, was that electric. Like I don't know if they punted.
Team.
What'd you say?
I said they're an NFL team.
Yes, yes.
You
They're
apologize
professionals.
being happy about winning a game by 70 points.
Yeah, it was. I mean, the Drake. I bet Drake May to win MVP. I'll get $750 if he wins the MVP. Um, and he's. I mean, there's stats where he has the completion percentage, 3 touchdowns, and I think 200 yards in like the past 3 games. And the only other quarterback to have that stint is who has a longer stint is uh, Tom Brady from 2007. So we're
Yeah,
this is what you must have felt with Jane Daniels last year, where I'm so full of joy.
pretty much. That
Um,
Browns game is
yes,
exactly very similar situation where it's just like completely coast against a horrible team, but like it's effortless. It's nice to like not sweat out a game.
Yes. Yes. And there was a chance where we could muck it up and have like this was also the first fumble or first game where we didn't fumble in since 2023, maybe 2024. It was an insane stat. I have it in
There's
my
no way you
Twitter.
fumbled every game last year.
There was you're right, you're right. That would be the whole year. Let me look and get the stats right. Um but it was a long time and the to last person to win a Pats game without fumble was Bailey Zappi. So that's fun. Um
That is absurd.
Last game without a fumble was 2024 week 7 loss against the Jaguars. And the
Lost
last
fumble or just like they fumbled the ball?
it just says without a fumble. So
Okay.
the last
That's
Pats game
still like a
won without
ridiculous amount
fumbling
of games.
was 2023 week 4. Week 4 last Pats win without a fumble. And that was Bailey Zappi against the Steelers. 24
That's
games
outrageous.
ago. Last Pats win without a fumble. Um so that was great to see. It was also like I guess we did punt because we subbed in Josh Dobbs in the fourth quarter. I had Drake May. Um, I needed him to get like 15 more yards for my parlay, but it was worth it to see. And I needed Hunter Henry to get literally point 0.5 yards, but it was great to see the tweet we're subbing in Josh Dobbs, and
Yep.
it wasn't for an injury. It wasn't because he sucked. It was because we were kicking their ass, and it was so much fun.
Mhm.
Um, the this was Diggs game. I'm glad we didn't bet him a touchdown in the parlay, but it was also a Trayvon Henderson game. I mean, he didn't look great on the ground, but he had a great catch out of the backfield, and he got a touchdown. So he's waking up. They're ramping him up slowly but surely, and we 3 rushing touchdowns, 2 passing touchdowns. Man, I can I just love this game so much. Um, and honestly, like we just kind of fed Diggs. Like it was a lot of feeding Diggs against this Panthers team. And I know he's amped up for the Bills game. Yeah, the whole team should be amped up for the Bills game. Um, so I'm excited. I'm excited for Sunday night.
Yeah, I'm happy for you. It's been a lot of hard football to watch
It
the
has been.
last several years.
It has been. And
So
I I had my childhood of great quarterback play and winning. So it was due. Like it was due. The bad years were due. Um, and it's nice to see Will Campbell a stud, an absolute stud.
mhm.
Um, he's been the best rookie lineman, it seems like, all year so far, and everyone was saying his arms were too short. I was skeptical. I was nervous. Um, and yeah, it was great to see. It was great to see. I'm all if they beat the
Yeah.
Bills though, like I'm gonna be insufferable. I'm gonna be absolutely insufferable. Um, but yeah, we'll take it 1 week at a time, and that was a great win against a team that hey they shut out the Falcons. So
They did.
scored 30 on them.
Yeah, I mean, by the transitive property, the Patriots smoked the Commanders.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if we could stop Jake Daniels, but they yeah, we could stop making Marcus Mariota though. I'll tell you that much. Well, another great transition, Chris. Let's get to your game. Sadly, but how'd you feel? It was close. They came back in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, well, I wish it would have been close in the sense that like our defense played well and our offense couldn't move the ball because of all the injuries that we have and it's a backup quarterback. Like at least I would have walked out of that saying, well, our defense is probably legit because that's 3 out of 4 games now that we've played really well. Instead, it was the opposite. Mariota was their highest graded player on PFF and really
Ooh.
kept them in the game. Like he threw 1 pick, but it was a deep ball. It was basically like ended up being an arm punt. I mean, they put up 27 points. They obviously couldn't run the ball like they did last week, but they were like the offense kept them in the game. and defensively they just got shredded. Like could not stop Bijan. And granted, it is Bijan, but like I think he had 170 yards from scrimmage, which
Yeah.
is really hard to
180.
beat a team. Thanks.
Sorry.
When you let their back do that to you, and then they can't cover. So obviously, like we know that this Falcons offense has some talent. Like Drake London is pretty awesome, and you say what you want about Pitts, but the talent is definitely there. And they looked like they were completely overmatched. And this team is not like Atlanta has looked terrible offensively since week one. Drake London has been nothing for them this year so far. And he comes out, he has his best game of the year. I think he went for like 9 catches and 100 some yards. And they just get ripped apart. I don't know if it's a scheme thing or if it's a talent thing. I refuse to believe that their secondary is bad.
It's a Marcus Lattimore thing.
I don't know, because Lattimore has played 2 bad games this year and 2 good games. And the 2 good games was like he was completely shut down. And like say what you will about the Raiders, but he took Malik Neighbors out of the game. So like there's something left in there. And Sanders still has looked bad. Quan Martin has looked bad. And like I just refuse to believe that these guys are as bad as they're playing right now. So I mean it also doesn't hurt that like they have probably the worst coverage linebacker duo in the NFL. Like Frankie Louvu is a Swiss Army knife who's awesome against the run and can get after the quarterback, but he's not a coverage backer. And Bobby Wagner is again awesome against the run and keeps that defense together, but he can't cover. And like he's too old, he can't cover. And they don't really have anyone else that can step in and like fill in on passing downs to pick up a tight end or to like demand the middle of the field. So you get your corners like facing all game. So that doesn't help, but like they have to figure something out. And I want to have faith that they will, because that's kind of like their thing. Like Dan Quinn and Joe Witt are like, that's what they do. Joe Witt was the defensive backs coach in Dallas, and Dan Quinn was the defensive coordinator for the Legion of Boom. So I want to have faith that they'll figure something out. This week against the Chargers will be a big test. I think the other issue is their pass rush has been so inconsistent. It's like they have absolutely feasted against 2 teams that had, college players on their offensive line. Like the Giants and the Raiders, they call the Giants without Andrew Thomas, and then the Raiders are just a nightmare. So like those teams, they were able to overwhelm and get after the quarterback by just rushing 4. And when they played teams with good lines like Green Bay and Atlanta, they've like basically been useless. So I think this Chargers game will be a test. I think they've gotten lucky now that I don't know, is Joel out multiple weeks?
I'm looking right now. If I knew that was coming.
But they might have gotten lucky there. Like if he does end up missing time, that would be
high ankle sprain. I'm guessing he's out.
It's probably not great. So yeah, they've been able to take advantage of those teams, but it's like any team that has even a little bit of talent up front or in the backfield, they're just going to get shredded by. So they have a tough. I was looking at the schedule today. Their next 6 are Chargers, Bears,
Cowboys,
Chiefs,
Seahawks.
Lions, Seahawks.
Yeah.
So they have to go 3-3. If you go 3-3 and you're 5-5, it eases up a little bit. Like you get the Dolphins, you get Giants and
Vikings,
Cowboys again.
Giants. Yeah.
The Vikings, yeah. So it eases up a little bit, then you can maybe take advantage there before, so that you're not in a must-win situation against the Eagles twice at the end of the year. Yeah, it's it's hard to feel good about where they're at defensively right now. And it sounds like Jaden will be back against the Chargers. I don't know about McLaurin, but it definitely doesn't sound as bad as it did initially. I think Quinn said he's trending in the right direction, so who knows what that means for Sunday. But it wasn't a negative update like it was last week. But yeah, I feel uneasy right now about where they're at. I think just because the schedule's so tough.
Yeah, if the
And they're like
schedule lightened
they're
up a
they're
little bit, it would be nice.
yeah, and they're just it seems like they're turning into one of those teams who's like, yeah, they'll take care of who they need to, but they'll not even play down to their competition. Like teams that are at their level or better than them, they just look completely different against.
I do think if Jane Daniels is playing this game, they probably win. They couldn't get like they got a little bit on the ground, but not as much as
Yeah.
they could have.
And they did
Uh,
kick a bunch of field goals, which like doesn't happen if he's out there probably. Um but he gave up 34 points
I was
on
gonna
the
say
other
the
hand.
issue is, and this is what we wanted to see from the Falcons from the jump.
Yep.
Bijan, 17 carries, 75 yards. Tyler Algier, 16 carries, 51 yards. Drake London, 8 catches, 110 yards. Bijan Robinson, 4 catches, 106 yards. And Kyle Pitts, 5 catches, 70 yards. And every player I just named got a touchdown. Um, there was 3 passes not to those players. And that's excluding Tyler Algier. He didn't get any passing game. So like that's what we wanted to see from the Falcons, and it is disappointing that your defense was the one that woke it up.
Yeah. I mean Penix, like to Penix's credit, he looked great.
Yeah.
And we were giving him time, but still like I didn't watch the game against the Panthers, but I can't imagine the Panthers were like in his face the whole game, and he's played horribly. So, like I'll give credit where credit is due. And London is a good player, and like finally woke up. Like you knew that he wasn't going to go this whole season with the mediocre numbers he was putting up. So like, and again, like I said earlier with Bijan, they're good players. But yeah, it is tough when we saw them get goose egged last week, and they really haven't had a pulse in the last couple weeks. And they
But
go for 34, basically untouched.
that was something we were a little worried about going into the game. I mean,
Correct.
yeah, you
Yes, it
never.
was a bad spot to see them.
Yes. Yep. Because they were angry. They knew their offensive coordinator moved down to the sidelines. They were making
It's true.
changes.
Yeah.
And apparently he said afterwards it helped a lot, which I guess surprise. Um, but it was a bad spot for the Commanders to be in. Yeah, they were cautious about Jane Daniels. I think if they were to redo it, they wouldn't be so cautious about Jane Daniels. And I think they'll be fine. I think they're what, 3-point underdogs against the Chargers? I think they can I think they can
About
beat
two
the
and a half,
Chargers.
3.
I think they can beat the Chargers. That'd be a good win.
Yeah, I just hate the Chargers lost to the Giants.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
we
That's
have
another bad
back-to-back
spot.
weeks. We have like good teams that just lost to poopy teams. Frustrating. But
Yeah,
take care of business, doesn't matter.
that's true. All right. Other games that happened. I didn't watch a lick of the overseas game.
I did not either.
I saw that Kenny
Apparently
Gainwell
Wentz
went off.
was fantastic. Like as
Wentz was
far as
fantastic.
watching a Wentz game.
He did have
Like it
350.
had everything.
He had 350 passing yards. He did have 2 interceptions though, so that's the Wentz that we
Yeah.
expect over
It
there.
was the full Wentz experience. I shouldn't have
Well,
used the word fantastic because I didn't mean he played fantastic. I meant from a viewing Carson Wentz experience, he got exactly what I'm looking for. 6 sacks, 2 picks, 350 yards.
they had an 80-yard catch though from Jordan Addison, so that might help quite a
Yep.
bit.
And a fumble. He fumbled.
Oh, 3 turnovers for him.
They didn't lose it.
Okay. I will
Blocked him
say
out.
a good sign for the Steelers defense, who we thought at the beginning of the year was not going to be the same Steelers defense that we've seen throughout the year. Um, Rodgers basically just threw slant routes to DK Metcalf or threw it to Kenneth Gainwell, which was,
Yep.
I mean, smart
All
play
quick.
when you're getting blitzed, and it worked out for him. The DK Metcalf had a great game. Uh, Rodgers had he had an okay game. It was just that he was getting the ball out so quickly that helped them. And then
Yeah.
Kenny G, man. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, 99 yards on the ground, and 6 catches. Like I think he had 30 something points. It really sucks for the fantasy players to talk about fantasy again to wake up to see that Jalen Warren is out, and then especially if you had Kenneth Gainwell on your bench, just doesn't seem like that. That was I did not expect Warren to be out whatsoever. So that surprised
That
me
was
when it
kind of last
started.
minute, wasn't it?
It was. And so that surprised me when I turned on the game uh in the beginning of the day. And it's just I know in our league that nobody cares about, but Nick had Kenneth Gainwell just sitting on the bench as Jalen Warren gets a fat 0 to start out his day. So that's a rough way to wake up. Um I heard that the atmosphere at Dublin was good. I heard that the chants were really good. Um I was busy. I wasn't doing it. I couldn't watch it. That's all I got.
We should probably get this out of the way. I don't plan on watching any of the international games.
I don't blame you.
I don't.
I don't really either. And even when I do even when I do watch them, they're like I have them on. It's not like I'm watching
Right.
I'm
You
watching
don't
the rest of the
wake up
Sunday.
for the game. You wake up and you're like, yeah, I'll put it on.
Yes.
But like, if you think I'm getting up to watch the Vikings, Browns, Broncos, Jets, Rams, Jags over the next 3 weeks,
Yes. Why do we have so many in a row?
sadly mistaken. Rams, Jags that's something.
That is something.
Broncos, Jets, and Vikings, Browns. I mean,
Broncos Jets is gonna be a slaughter, bro. That's gonna be awful. I gotta make sure I wake up to bench Justin Fields in the one league I have him in that week. That's gonna be the only reason why I wake up for this game is to bench Justin Fields because he will not look good against the Broncos. I am a little bit excited to see Dylan Gabriel next week. I think they could
I'm
beat the
intrigued.
Vikings
I'm definitely intrigued.
because their defense is real. Their defense is definitely
Yep.
real. Even against the Lions this week, which the Lions they don't care if the defense is real or not.
Yeah, if you score them on the Lions rubric, playing against the Lions rubric, a decent day.
Yeah, and Joe Flacco did not play well at all, and then they can't muster up any points or any yards, so they just punt it to him over and over again, and eventually your defense
Yep.
runs out. So I don't blame that on a bad Browns defense.
Well, yeah, this
But
was, I guess, we're transitioning to this game.
might as well.
It was a 10-point game going into the fourth, and then the Lions returned a punt for a touchdown. So they weren't out of this game until pretty late.
Yeah.
Despite not really having a pulse offensively after that first drive.
It's sad to see Joe go. It had to be done. After that interception, the one that if you've seen any highlights this week, you've probably seen that was really bad. And I think that was
12.
what?
His QBR was 12.
Oof. Yeah, I mean he was 16 for 34. That's not what you want to see.
Why are they throwing it 34 times though?
I mean, they ran the ball 21 times with their lead rusher, so it's not like they're trying their best here. Quentin Johnson, by the way, their lead rusher I was just talking about, the guy that he was advertised to be, they got his case all thrown away and good to go. So, I guess good for him.
And Isaiah Bond too.
Yeah, another guy in a similar
rookie.
situation. Yep. If they can get him going, I feel like that. I don't know that story as well as I know the Quentin Johnson one, so I don't know
Mhm.
what happened there. And I knew that there was some sort of maybe it was I don't even know. And I guess we don't need to get into it, but I don't know. Part of me, especially because he went undrafted, there's that video of the guy calling and saying he's the Falcons. that they got a video of, and it wasn't real. And so after that, I was like, all right, I kind of feel bad for him.
Mhm.
So it is nice to see him make some plays. Um, all right. I mean, Lions looked great. Browns making a quarterback
Yep.
change. I do.
Do you think
It's funny if it
it could
wasn't
be
in.
fun
Huh?
with Gabriel? It could be fun with Gabriel.
Yes, 100.
Like
percent
they're gonna have a good run game with Judkins. Like, maybe he has a good connection with Bond, and like Tillman's all right. Got Fannin. Like they have some really young pieces on that team.
Tillman is sadly injured. He left this game,
Yes.
and I think he'll be. I think he's gone for like at least a week because they elevated two other young guys that they have, um, Malachi Corey that they got from the Jets, and
Mhm.
um, Gage Laverian or whatever. He was a Gamecock, so I hope he gets an opportunity um, play. But yeah, it is. It will be interesting to see him, and it is funny. Did we talk about on the pod? I don't think we did. The story that came out, I think in week 2 when they were facing the Ravens, that Shadur Sanders denied being drafted by the Ravens, like told him not to draft him.
No, I did not see that.
Oh yeah, it was right in that week 2 Browns Ravens game. It came out right before, and it was like Shadur Sanders told the Ravens not to draft him because he didn't want to be behind a guy like Lamar Jackson. And
Oh, I do remember that actually.
what a mistake that was, because now you're behind a guy like Dylan Gabriel, pal, and Lamar Jackson is Cooper Rush is playing, so he could have been the starter. And honestly, that would have been
Funny.
awesome. I kind of would have been rooting for the Ravens big time, if I saw Shadur Sanders trot out there against the
Mhm.
Texans. And I mean, that would have been fun. Him, Derrick Henry, their wide receivers that they have, like they're not bad. So I felt like that could have been good, but you make your mistakes, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
Um, all right,
That is a fun alternate universe thought
right?
experiment.
Yeah, little Madden
It's such a good
simulation.
observation, too.
So what? Yeah, I
Like
know.
maybe take a step back and remember that you're not going to be a starter anymore.
Yeah, you're in the 5th round already, and the Browns. And I guess he didn't know he was going to go down then to the Browns, but the Browns just drafted a
Yeah.
quarterback. Like you're not going to start over him. Um, let's go. Let's go to the Bills real quick because we can do it quickly. Uh, the Saints were in this game in the 4th quarter. This is
Yeah.
another Rattler is sadly 0-10. Um, this is not. This is. I think he gets a. We'll get to the Saints, I guess, later for next week. Um, but I feel bad for the guy because I feel like the team around him just stinks. And they were in that game. Freaking Chris Olave threw an interception, and then they just kind of blew the Bills eventually realized that they were playing the Saints and took care of business. But it was kind of a
It's a
late
2 point
game.
game in the quarter.
Yes, it was kind of like a late game resurgence from the Bills. Um, Josh Allen had that crazy run that really after that it was like, all right, this game's over.
Yeah.
Um, James Cook, as we talked about earlier, just continues to eat. Um, but this Bills defense looks a little beatable. Looks beatable. Um, so we'll look for next week. But I do feel bad for Rattler. I feel like that he's getting a short. I don't. And it's funny. They're not like talking about benching him. Seems like Saints fans like him. From what I see on Twitter, because I've
He's
liked
not
and
like losing them games.
no, no, he's not. And from seeing, I've like retweeted a couple Saints things, shared a couple Saints things because Rattler, some Saints fans have crept onto my timeline and Twitter, and they seem to think the same thing. They blame the rest of the team. They're not blaming Rattler. And it doesn't seem like anyone's really calling for him to be benched right now. So I hope we get to see a win coming out soon for the Saints.
You think it's a bad sign for Shuck that
That
that's
he
not
can't beat
happening?
this out. Yeah, I do.
Because I don't know, like you can look at it two ways. Where like one is Rattler's not the reason they're losing, so like why would they consider a QB change? But the other part of it is like he's literally never won a game, and like you're telling me that your 30-year-old rookie doesn't give you a better chance on an
I thought it
offense
was a
that like isn't that miserable.
mhm.
Like when Olave is healthy. Like he's a pretty decent wide receiver, and you have a deep threat in Shaheed and Kamara. So I don't know.
Yeah, I thought it was a bad sign going into the season that he couldn't beat out Rattler.
Right, that he wasn't just the starter to begin with.
Yeah, and I think I'm guessing we're just seeing similar stuff, and it was probably one of those scenarios where the GM or uh, and they just brought in Kellen Moore, so it's not like he worked with Rattler last year either. So
Mhm.
it's a weird situation where it seemed like they just wanted to get a quarterback to say that they got a quarterback in the second round. Um, because I also feel like, I mean, was Shuck really gonna like he wasn't gonna be there in the third round? Was anyone really itching to take him? People liked him out of the combine and stuff, but still,
Yes.
um, it seemed like a panic move to draft him. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm glad Rattler's out there trying his hardest and trying to get them wins. And it was a 2-point game in the fourth quarter, so something to think about, Saints. Um, Jaguars
Should that
49ers.
be a new
Oh,
segment? Or something to think about for the Saints.
something to think about for the Saints. Yeah,
Had to skate within 2 in the fourth quarter.
yep, something to think about for the Saints. I like that.
I don't think last week there was anything.
No.
Literally from the first drive, the game was over.
Yeah, that was a ass bit whooping. Um, I think we have to have a Mac Jones Brock Purdy conversation. Not a serious one, but first loss. Brock Purdy's out there. He had a good game. Missed a lot of throws though. He had a good game
2
yardage
picks
wise.
and a fumble.
Yep, 2 picks and a fumble. The Jags defense, the only reason why they are 3-1. Did you see that they had 9
Yeah,
turnovers last year all season and now they have 13 or
they have
yeah,
13.
yes.
I mean, I guess 3 versus Browning plus 4 this game, I wanna say. That's 7, and then yeah, that's crazy that it's that I didn't think it was that many. They're it does seem like they're gonna be, like, the sneaky team that just hangs around for a while, and
And
it'll
it's
get
funny
into,
because
like,
their
November
offense
and 2-game lead in the division. It's like, "You gonna keep doing this with the Jags?"
yes. And their offense is not it's not anything special. It's not great.
No. The, that was the thing with them this year, like, if you were excited about them, it was because you thought Liam Cohen could revive Trevor Lawrence and really figure out how to use ETN and Tootin, and granted ETN's had a good year. But like you bring in Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas, and like this offense is exciting, and it's been anything but that so far.
And when you
But
look at their
definitely was not a team we expected to be good defensively.
no. And if you thought a month into the season that Brenton Strange would be the leading receiver for this team and they would have what is this? They would have 9 interceptions and uh is this fumble recoveries? Yeah. And they would have 4 extra, so 13, yeah, 4 extra fumble recoveries. I would look at you and say you're crazy. So I mean that's why we play every Sunday. That's what's the fun of it. Um but do you see that they're calling themselves Strapsonville? Strap them up.
Did not see that.
I don't like the nickname this early, and I don't like giving yourself a nickname. That seems like bad
Who
luck.
gave them the nickname?
I think one of their cornerbacks said it. Let me see if I look up Strapsonville.
I think if
Anything
the
comes up.
players do it, it's okay.
Oh, Tyus Campbell. He's the one that said Strapsonville. Um, and he's a
I kind
good
of like that.
cornerback. He is a really good cornerback. Um, Strapsonville. I think it's it is it's a cool nickname. I'll give you that. I think I think you should wait like maybe week 7. Is that all right? Week 7, you call yourself Jacksonville. Um, but I guess did you see the Liam Cohen incident after the game?
Mm-mm.
So I guess
Oh, with like the sign stealing, I heard
yeah.
something about it. I didn't read it, so.
So Robert Sala was he's worked for Kyle Shanahan before. I think Liam Cohen was on the staff when he was out there, and he said that well, and part of the Sean McVay stuff. Um, and he said that whenever a Sean McVay guy leaves, they just steal signs from McVay and Kyle Shanahan, and because
Hmm.
they worked on the same signs. And then after the game, Liam Cohen went up to him, like sort of went up to him. He was kind of behind a guy, and was like, "Keep your name out of my mouth." Um, to Robert Saleh, which I thought was funny because Robert Saleh would put him they would crumple him up into a little ball and toss him in the trash can. Um, which isn't a diss. I don't think it's a diss on Liam Cohen. It's just that, have you seen Robert Saleh? Like, that guy's a freaking beefcake. Um, and he's like, I always think Robert Saleh, like, you always see him, like, he has like seems like a pretty friendly face, but one of those guys that you do not want to piss off.
Yeah, as soon as the flip or the switch flips,
Yes. Yeah.
your body bag.
Yep. Again, Christian McCaffrey, healthiest player on the 49ers. I think Ricky Pearsall is going to be out for a week or two. And Juwan Jennings. So it is now Christian McCaffrey. It's Kendrick Bourne, I guess. Demarcus Robinson. Um, Kyle Juszczyk. Jake Tonjes. Um, so all the great 49ers that we all come to know and love are playing here. And it is funny that everyone in fantasy was all worried about Christian McCaffrey. And
Yep.
another one
It's the rest.
where it was like, man, this guy does nothing. Like, I know the injury history fucked everyone last year. Pardon my French, but the like he's just always a dominant player. Like, he's always going to score you
Yep.
at least 15 points in a fantasy game. All right. I guess besides the 2 Monday night games, which stunk, we got Rams Colts, where the Colts had this.
It
And
felt like nature was healing when Daniel Jones got strip sacked at the end of that game.
yes,
I saw that, and I don't know why I felt like this, but I literally felt like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. I
Yep.
was like, oh,
Thank God.
there it is. And it was a good play. Like, Verse beat his guy clean off the block and made a nice play on the ball. But still, I was like, all right, finally, get these guys a loss.
Yes, it was needed. The 2 interceptions too, the fumble. The Adonai, we got to talk about Adonai Mitchell, who had a super long touchdown, but he fumbled in the end zone, um, trying to celebrate, which is always a shame. And then he also had a holding call on the touchdown that would have tied the game, from Jonathan Taylor. So two bad plays from that. Adonai Mitchell kind of beat the Colts himself.
That's how you lose playing time very quickly.
Yep. And which is the same because, like, this was kind of like his breakout game besides that. Like, he's never really had this. I mean, he only had 3 catches, but he never had this many yards. So it is a shame. And it's funny, I got to bring this up because I feel like at once every 2 years I rant about this on the podcast, but where was the people complaining about the fumble rule in the end zone when this happened? Because every time that Derek Carr would fly to the end zone and fumble, everyone would bitch about it. Everyone would be like, "This is the dumbest rule in all of sports. It doesn't make any sense." And this happens, not a peep. I didn't see a
You like
single
the rule,
peep.
don't you?
I love the
Talk
rule.
about this.
I love the rule because
Don't fumble the end
don't fumble in the end zone. It's pretty simple. Um, so. And, like, where are you supposed to put it? Like, if you fumble on the end zone or
The 1
outside,
yard line.
yeah, exactly. You're supposed to just give him at the 1 yard line. So it's the dumbest rule, or not the dumbest rule. It's the best rule, and everyone thinks it's the dumbest rule. And
Yep.
nobody said anything when Adonai Mitchell did it. What is he? Wide receivers are allowed to fumble out of the end zone all of a sudden to Twitter. But God forbid it's a quarterback reaching for the end zone. I don't know. I always think it was plain and simple. Don't fumble in the end zone. And everyone just loves to bitch about it. So I'm bitching about people not bitching about it now. So welcome to the wise guys.
Stand for something.
Yeah. Yep. Do I that's literally all I thought of when I saw that highlight. I was like, where's the bitching? Where's the moaning? Where's everyone groaning about
I
that?
guess if he was trying to celebrate, then everyone was just like, nah.
Yeah.
deserved it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, because most of the time when they're bitching, it's a guy
Yeah.
who's like reaching and it falls out at the end. But it's the same thing that happened. It's the same thing. Matthew Stafford, he he looked great. He missed another guy missed a lot of throws, but had a lot of yards. But Puka Nacua, he's
Machine.
he's so good,
Absolute machine.
so good. He has
I can't believe
550
that
yards
I
this
messed with
season.
him in multiple leagues because I was scared of Matthew Stafford's back.
Oh, and I was scared. Puka Nacua always gets hurt, which hopefully he doesn't. We never wish on injuries,
Yep.
but uh, another overthink in fantasy.
It's funny not to keep talking about fantasy, but my one team that I like hated after the draft is my desk team.
Yeah, that's always how it ends up, right? And I mean, he's 13 catches, 170 yards, and a touchdown. His first touchdown of the year. The guy has 550 yards in a month of playing football. Um,
Absurd.
I always thought he was up there with the best wide receivers of the league. I was always worried about health. But he's clearly, especially with the two LSU guys not having quarterbacks, he's clearly the best wide receiver that we have right now.
Yeah.
Production wise.
I think so. Right.
Like you'd still want Jamar Chase, you'd still want Justin Jefferson. But production wise so far this year is and that's a dumb thing to say. Like he leads the league in receiving and has caught, I think, 13 passes every game. So it's pretty insane what he's doing this year. And I love to see. I mean, who doesn't love watching Puka Nacua? Like that guy's a dog to watch. So, all right. Anything else we got on this team or on this game?
I don't think so. What games do we miss so far?
We just got the Monday nights. Oh, Titans. They played out there for not.
Titans are trending downwards.
Yeah.
It's been a couple games now where it's like, yeah, they were in that game. I mean,
hey, they were in that. It was a 6-point game going in the fourth quarter. We're doing the Saints rule,
and they missed 2 field goals.
Yeah.
This could have been tied going into the fourth.
But it was the Woody Marks game. It's the Woody Marks game.
Yes.
He was all over the place. CJ Stroud looked much better. I was nervous about the pressure. I'm so glad I didn't take the Titans or plus 7.5.
We're not allowed to bet on them.
No. And let's see if it gets any better for the Titans. They got the sure we're not allowed to bet on them? Cardinals?
Yes. What's the line?
I think it's 8.5. It's 8.5. It was the same as the Pats game. So gross.
He doesn't.
Because who's gonna take the Cardinals minus 8.5?
Yeah, right.
But they got some rough games. I mean, it's honestly they got a fourth place schedule. So they got the Raiders, they got the Pats, they got the Colts. I mean that's a divisional game, but then they have to face the Chargers. They go back to the Texans, Seahawks, Jaguars. Browns might win at home against them.
That is quite the game. That's the under of the year.
From the words of their starting quarterback, were ass. It was a great quote. He said special teams. He said offensive line. He said receivers, defense. He said we ass. We all ass all over. I don't know if that's something you want your starting quarterback to be saying, but
at least it's we and not them.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. I didn't. He also then he said I'm ass.
He's included. Like he feels like he's ass.
No, yeah. He also said that part of the quote. He was like I've been ass. Like it's a whole team effort of ass. All right, now we can go to same thing. Broncos Bengals. Like that was a hard watch. That was a really hard watch. Both these games, nobody cares, but I'm going to say it anyways. I had 2 bets, 2 touchdowns from each team, and both touchdowns that I got 1 for each game. So they weren't even it wasn't even a 4-leg parlay. It was 2 2-leg parlays, and I got 1 from each. and both of the ones that I got were the first touchdown. And I'm seeing these first touchdown bets that people hit with it, making all this goddamn money. And so I had Darren Waller and Bo Nix, and they were both the first touchdown. And then the other team could not get the ball to the other guy that I had. I mean, the Bengals couldn't even score a touchdown.
They didn't even get close to scoring a touchdown.
No. It was that was abysmal. And the Jets
For all
came
the talk
back at
about,
the
like,
end. Oh, okay. Go ahead. I was
how good,
already
I
done.
remember seeing a stat like Jake Browning has just as many game-winning drives as Joe Burrow, and like how he looked against Jacksonville. You thought like maybe they'd be competitive with him for a little bit, and it's just been misery through 2 games. I mean, they've been outscored like 70-6,
It's been bad.
something ridiculous like that the last 2 weeks.
He has. We were talking about the cadence with Jackson Dart and with JJ McCarthy. There was a picture, not a picture. It was just showed him on the sidelines at the end of that game, and he's just sitting alone with his heads in his hand on the bench. The 2 wide receivers, Jamar Chase and T Higgins, are like chopping it up on the bench, and
Yeah,
if they don't get another quarterback, it's malpractice. It's seasonal malpractice.
Burrow has a chance to come back.
Yes. Yes.
Like, if he's done for the year, it'd be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like they're 2-2.
I know. Go and get Jameis, please. For the love of fantasy football, go and get Jameis Winston. And for to get people in your stands. Like, you're telling me Jameis Winston can't get
Yeah.
people in the Bengals stadium. He definitely can, throwing to Jamar Chase and T Higgins. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, that was abysmal. The Dolphins game also sucked. I mean, like, they scored a
That
lot.
was okay. Yeah, I thought that was, for what it was okay.
And
Like, the Jets made it interesting.
but they made it interesting way too late. They had to get the onside, and then they knew. What pissed me off about this game,
Garrett Wilson was cool at the end.
that was great.
Awesome.
That was a great catch. What pissed me off about this game is they're down by 10, the Jets. It's 4th and 5. They're in field goal range. And they go for it. Just take your points, man. And I guess like end result, yeah, they would lose 24 to 21, or sorry, 24 to 27. But I don't know, man. It just changes your whole mantra for the rest of the game. Like, and then they go ahead and score a field goal, and they score 2 field goals in the second, right after that. Like, they score a field goal, and then in the fourth quarter, they're kicking a field goal. And maybe that's when you save going for it. Like, that's like you have the 3 extra points, and you can go for it and really make it a game. And it was too little, too late. And I just hate when dumb coaches like. It just seemed like that was a dumb move. It was like first quarter or second quarter, we're down by 10. We're not going to make it a 1 possession game. We're going to keep it a 2 possession game by going for it with Justin Fields and the rest of the gang. Like, Jesus. The Justin Fields touchdown was really cool. I'll give you that. The Dolphins. Huh?
Uniforms.
Yeah, I didn't like them. And I like.
They're XFL.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
And I kind of like the jersey and the pants, but the helmets need to be brighter.
Yeah.
They just look like all
They
black
have good
on the
uniforms.
helmet. They do have good uniforms. And I'm like, I do kind of hate that argument. Like, I do like new uniforms and like trying to try something. But I just didn't like those uniforms.
No.
Yeah, they're a bright team. Like, keep them white and bright colors. Maybe some orange. Like, they're not they should not be wearing all black. And if they were, why didn't you do the Miami Heat and do the Miami Vice and to get like some purple and some pink? Yeah, that would look cool. And it would be like an homage to the basketball team and the Miami Vice, whatever it comes from. So yeah,
What is Miami Vice?
I'll look it up. I think it's a TV show. I thought it was a TV show. Yeah, it's a TV show. 1984 TV show. And Glenn Powell and Michael B. Jordan are in talks to star in a Miami Vice reboot. So that's there you go. We might get it back.
Also a cocktail. Pina
Oh,
colada
okay.
and strawberry daiquiri.
Oh, There you
worth.
go. All right. Brees Hall looked great. Braylon Allen looked great until he fumbled and then got injured. You see Brees Hall's quote after the game? He said, "Some teams shoot themselves in the foot, and we shoot ourselves in the head." So it's not a great, it's another not a great quote from the team.
No.
He looked like he wanted out as well as he was playing. He looked like on the sideline that he wanted to be a Kansas City Chief so
also,
badly.
like, when Brandon Allen is healthy, he's stuck in a timeshare, which makes no sense.
Yeah, it's true. And they're giving him the goal line work, and he's fumbling. It's like, come on, man. Yeah, the Garrett Wilson catch was cool. I needed Mason Taylor, and they threw him to him 5 times, and they never even got close to the red zone. It was like Justin Fields' long run was their touchdown, and then the Garrett Wilson catch wasn't in the red zone either. It didn't seem like there was like not as close as a Mason Taylor touchdown would have been or would have needed to be. So yeah, like it was cool that they came back. It was cool to see an onside kick attempt that really, really mattered. But I didn't like that game.
We've already spent too much time on it, I think.
I agree.
I will
Besides
say,
Tua,
shout
or
out to
not
the
Tua,
Dolphins
Tyreek.
for proving that, yeah, that was a shame. Dolphins proving that they were not the worst team in the NFL.
Yep.
So I did feel slightly vindicated there.
Yes. Yep.
Should have made it a wise pick.
Yeah. Yeah, I felt that coming too. Like they're not gonna lose to the Jets.
Yeah.
All right. Let's should we go to the wise? Let's do quick baseball and then we'll end off on the wise picks.
Okay.
Sox are up 2-1 right now. Is all I
Yeah,
got.
I mean, it's been all the games today have been like the same game, which I think makes sense because it's all game one, so it's all the aces. But like Tark Skubal earlier picked the day off. He was awesome for the Tigers. I don't know if you follow like at all, but the Tigers had I think it was a 15-game lead in the AL Central at one point this season, and in the last month of the season just completely collapsed. Cleveland won the division, but they still snuck in to the playoffs as the 6th seed. So now they're facing each other in the wild card round. I still think Cleveland's going to beat them because Skubal's their best player, and obviously you can only throw him once in the series. So I wouldn't be shocked if Cleveland wins the next 2, but that guy is just built for the postseason. Like he's the perfect embodiment of a big game pitcher. So that was fun to watch. Then yeah, Cubs Padres came on at 3. Having these games on during the day is the best. I like wasn't thinking about it. I kind of check out once the Phillies clinch the playoffs. So like I've been so focused on football, and then the baseball season ends and it's like, all right, here's the playoffs. And I just haven't been that tuned in. And then it's like, this is awesome. Like now it's all I want to do is just have playoff baseball on all day. So yeah, having playoff games at Wrigley Field now for the first time since like 2018 was cool. That crowd was electric earlier. Couple homers was pretty sweet.
Beat the Padres.
So they're up 1-0 on the Padres.
Yep.
And then yeah, Yankees Sox on now. We got Dodgers Reds later. The Mets were not invited to the dance this year. Talk about a collapse. I mean, since it's been like 3 months now in the making that they have just completely imploded. If you want to see something cool, if you go on Baseball Reference to a team's homepage, it'll just show you like the season long. It's like a bar chart. Each game is a green bar if you win and a red bar if you lose, and like the amount of the run differential is how big the bar is. And you can see like the exact point in the Mets season where the collapse started, because you just get like 10 red bars.
Oof.
Like massive red bars, and then later in the season too.
Happy as a clam watching that.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And they went down to Miami this weekend and they lost 2-3 to the Marlins. So that was pretty awesome. So yeah, they are out, and the Dodgers will face the Reds, who It'd be pesky. It would be hilarious if the Dodgers got knocked out in 3-game series against the Reds. And based on their history, it wouldn't even be that surprising. Based on talent differential, it would be very surprising. Yeah, I already said I like Cleveland to come back and win that series. I kind of like the Padres to come back and beat the Cubs too, just because I think their bullpen's so much better. But if their offense gets cold, like that's why they lost last year. They were up 2 games to 1 against the Dodgers and then got shut out in back-to-back games. So if they have similar offensive woes tomorrow, then they're going home. And it's a Cubs team that is going to score runs. So I'm sure they're feeling the pressure. Yankees, Red Sox, kind of similar situation. This one's tough because the Yankees bullpen, I mean, they've blown the game tonight already. They've had a rough stretch for a couple months now. Like, they just don't have that guy that you can really rely on in the bullpen. Red Sox really only have Aroldis Chapman, and their starting pitching isn't very good. So I think, they have to close this game out tonight. Tomorrow, I think there's going to be a lot more runs in all the games. But I think if the Red Sox win tonight, I like them to close out the series in either game 2 or 3. And then, obviously, I expect the Dodgers to beat the Reds.
What is... No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was going to move on to the next round.
What's the schedule looking like? So these are all the wild card games? We get all 4 in one day?
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They all play.
Wow,
Thursday,
so it's
depends
just
on who's still
3
alive,
back-to-back games if it goes to 3?
Yeah.
That's pretty electric.
That's you play 3 games back-to-back all the time.
Yeah.
And then, the next round will start Saturday. So there's 4 teams with a bye, 2 on each side, top 2 seeds in the league. And then, the winners. They don't reseed, which is kind of strange. But I don't know.
So the Phillies can face the Reds or the Dodgers?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Who would you rather face?
Yeah, and then it'll be...
The Reds.
I do think Phillies Dodgers though has we've somehow avoided that series for the past 3 years, even though they've both been in the playoffs every year, and I think it would be a really awesome series. So I would be excited for that. But obviously the Reds are the worst team. But you never know. They lost the Diamondbacks 2 years ago when that team had no business being in the playoffs. So I don't like to say that I'd rather see one team or another. That's right. But the Reds weren't even hot. The Mets just could not win games. Both teams were struggling down the stretch. It was who wants to be in the playoffs the least?
So who's been hot?
Mariners, I think, have been the hottest team in baseball the last month or so.
So they have a bye.
They have a bye. They'll face the winner of Cleveland series.
Okay.
Which is much better than facing the winner of the Yankees Red Sox series. But so they'll face them. I don't know if you remember the trade deadline episode that we did, but they made 2 major moves for Howard Bats and Josh Naylor and Eugenio Suarez. Those guys have fit right into their lineup. They obviously have the big dumper. They've got Julio Rodriguez, who had a horrible start to the season, as he does every year, and in the second half put up MVP level numbers. So they've got 4 or 5 really good bats in that lineup, and they also have 3 starting pitchers that could go toe to toe with almost anybody in the league, to be honest. Bullpen has some question marks, but they've got a pretty good closer. They've got some other pieces, and they've been scorching hot. So out of the American League, that's who I like right now. The Yankees have had a good stretch. I think they've won 8 in a row coming into the playoffs. They were pretty close to winning that division. I think they had this ended up with the second best record in the league, in the American League. Yeah, they could be done tomorrow if they
It's
get closed
still
out by the
it's
Red Sox.
bottom of the 9.
Is it the 9th or the
Or
8th?
sorry, 8th,
Let's
8th,
see.
8th, 8th. I don't know. Yeah, it was bottom of the 8th. Yeah, they've been 9-1 their last 10. So that's
Yeah.
they've been hot.
So yeah, I do think I think the National League is deeper. Like I think the Phillies and the Dodgers are the two best teams in baseball. It's hard to not include the Brewers in that category because they finished with the best record, and since probably June, they've been the best team by a significant margin. I just don't think they have like the horses that those other teams have. Like it just feels like they have a bunch of guys who play good fundamental baseball, which is going to win you a lot of regular season games. But the playoffs usually like the teams with like you have to have some superstars. And they don't really have that. They have good pitching, but not great pitching. I guess the one thing that they do have that's better than most of the teams in the National League is a good bullpen. But I could see their offense going super cold, and like if one of their pitchers has a rough start, then they're going to be in some big trouble, especially if they have to face Philly or LA. So that's where I'm at with like even the first round when they faced the Cubs or the Padres, like that is not an easy test. Both of those teams are really, really good teams. And the Cubs can absolutely mash.
Sounds like it's going to be an exciting baseball playoffs. And it doesn't seem like 2 years ago we had Diamondbacks, Texans, Rangers.
Yes.
And it doesn't seem like, I guess unless the Reds make a run, and like it'd be like Reds Mariners would be that type of matchup, right?
Yeah. But at least like the Mariners, you'd have a story. Like they've never even
Yeah.
been to the World Series.
Well, and they
So like that would be
big
a story.
dumper.
And big dumper. Yeah. So yeah, I hope the Mariners make it. Just been such a miserable franchise. So I hope they go on a run. That would make me happy.
They the ones with the chart
but if
party, like 10
there's a series on
episode.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's a good watch.
I've heard it's a good
I
watch.
wonder if
It's just like 10
bonus
hours,
episode
isn't it?
Series. Yeah, I think it's 6 episodes and they're like hour and a half each.
6 movies.
Yeah, pretty much. He's done a bunch of those now.
Yeah, he's done the Falcons and Vikings. They're good.
Yeah. Yeah, Battle for Seattle is one of the best YouTube videos I've ever seen. Got an hour and a half to kill and don't have something to watch on TV. It's better than most television that you can watch, I will say that. If you're like a sports nerd, it's way better. But regardless, yeah, you're right. There's not like a nightmare scenario World Series for Major League Baseball unless the Reds make a run. And even the Reds have Ellie, so like that's something. But yeah, the National League is absolutely loaded. It's going to be a war. The American League, I mean, you've got Yankees, Red Sox right now, and then the winner of that's going to play the Blue Jays. That'll be an awesome series. Like those playoff crowds in Toronto are just heinous. Like I don't know if you remember, Jose Bautista or Josh Donaldson. Yeah, so this is like a while ago now, but there was a game that they had in Toronto, elimination game against Texas, and there was this whole controversy in the 7th inning where like the catcher was throwing the ball back to the pitcher and it like hit off the batter's arm, and then the runner came in and scored, and the umps like they didn't overturn it, and they started throwing trash onto the field, and it was a whole nightmare. The inning took like an hour, and then in the bottom half of the inning, Jose Bautista hits a 3-run homer, like ridiculous bat flip. More trash starts coming onto the field. I'll send it to you because it's
Okay.
It was a pretty
Sounds like something.
pretty impactful moment in modern baseball history. And then he got punched in the face the next year, which was even cooler. But anyway, we haven't seen a playoff game in Toronto in a long time. So that will probably not disappoint, especially against the Yankees or the Red Sox. So I'm getting fired up just like thinking about these games. The playoff baseball atmospheres, there's nothing like it. I do have a wedding to go to on Saturday, so I'm gonna miss all the game ones, including the Phillies,
Ooh.
which is brutal. But some things are bigger than sports.
That is true.
That's what I keep telling myself.
That is true. You know you're gonna be scoreboard watching during that, so you'll be all right.
Depends on how good the playlist is.
That's
If I
true.
get sucked onto the dance floor, then
Yeah,
I might not think about it.
that's a good point. So I mean, you want it. So I guess you want it to be Phillies Mariners. I mean, I guess you'd probably rather have an easier team, but
Yeah. Anyone that makes it to the World Series is a tough team, so I
that's true.
won't make that claim. But I do that'll be my official prediction. I'm not going to pick against the Phillies, so I'll take Phillies over Mariners. If it's not the Phillies coming out of the National League, then that's tough.
It's gonna be the Dodgers.
I want to just go the Dodgers, but it just feels like too much has gone wrong. What were you gonna say?
I said it's gonna be the Dodgers. Like, come on. Like, if it's not the Phillies,
I don't
it's gonna be
know
the
because before last year, they choked every single year in the playoffs. Did make it to the World Series a couple times, but they've just had so much go wrong this year. Like so many injuries. Their lineup is not that deep, so I don't know. I'll give it to the Brewers. I'll take
Alright.
Mariners over Brewers. Will be my alternate pick.
All right, I like it. It's you got me fired up. It sounds like it's gonna be fun.
Good.
Baseball, and I forgot that the game started so early. Like, I should have thrown this on at work a little bit, not in the corner.
Yeah, I had a meeting at 1, and then after that, I just went downstairs and worked while watching the Guardians Tigers game.
Yeah, so that's it is cool that they start in the middle of the day, and I think it's cool that they just do back to back to back to back, and
Yep.
they just get it taken care of. Like the NBA playoffs, like it took months. It felt like.
That is nice about baseball. It's 1 month.
Yeah, so I think that's yeah, because it'll end in October, at the end of October. That's a good way to do the playoffs. It feels like, I mean, in football you got to do a week. Like you can't do multiple games a week.
Right. Yeah.
Basketball, it just seems like there's so much time in between. All right, well, that was a great preview. Thank you, Chris.
Of course.
Let's end off with the wise picks. We're running a little long, so we'll do a quick explanation for each one. Oh, come
I
on.
don't remember what I took.
I have it up here. As long as my FanDuel.
A lot of
loads.
garbage.
Yeah, you took the stinkiest lines I could possibly think of. I have Pats -8. They're riding high off the Panthers win. Oh, sorry, +8. They're riding high off the Panthers win. The Buffalo defense does not scare me. Josh Allen does scare me. James Cook does scare me. But this is Drake May's moment right here. It could be his moment right here. Sunday Night Football. There hasn't been this exciting of a game for the Pats in 4 years, and I think that they can at least keep it close within a touchdown. 8.5 is too big of a line. You want to go
I
alternate, or
agree.
you just
Can
want
I? Well, we can alternate, but can I offer a comparison to this game? Last year, when the Commanders went on the road in Cincinnati on Monday night, I think the line was
Love it.
exactly the same.
Love it?
For what it's worth.
Absolutely love it. I know. I might have just gotten the Jaden Daniels year one year later. So
It's like our basketball team, we're like the same season, just a year apart.
Yep.
You stormed the court the year after I did.
Yep. It literally, yeah.
Money line. After that.
I will be having the Pats money line separately, just alone. Just alone. Yeah, Pats +8.5. I love the comparison. to Jane Daniels going down in Cincinnati and beating the Bengals. Let's shock the world here, Patriots. Let's show everyone that we're back. And yeah, and then it's like division's possible. The Bills have a super easy schedule, so I do think that
So do you?
that is true. That is true. We do have a very easy schedule. And if we beat the Bills, I mean, I think I mapped it out maybe 2 episodes ago where it's like I can see like 4 more losses and that's about it. So, it is if we beat the Bills, that knocks out one of the losses that I counted towards us. So that's that would be sweet. All right. You're up.
I'm taking the Saints.
Let's go, Rattler. Let's go, Rattler.
-1.5 against the Giants. You said you hated all my picks. I hate all my picks.
Rattler, baby.
I mean, they shouldn't be favored against anybody. I think the Giants coming off of a win, people are high on Dart, see the Saints favored. They're going to take the Giants. I mean, Giants suck.
They do.
And no neighbors. So, Rattler's got to win a game at some point. This has got to be it. If he doesn't win this game, he might never win a football game in the NFL.
I agree. I completely agree. And I like what you're saying. Like everyone's high on Dart. Everyone's going to be excited about the Giants. The Saints have been in the games that they shouldn't have been in. Doors got blown off at the end of those games, but the Giants aren't going to blow your doors off. So they can stay in it, and I think they can win as well. And I like this is what you do, Chris. You come in, and eventually when you're forced to make a change, you just go for the stinkiest lines, and most of the time in recent years it's worked out. So I like it. As you said, no one's going to be betting on the Saints here.
I can imagine. I don't know why you would.
All right. I have the Kansas City Chiefs -3.5 versus the Jaguars on Monday. So I have Sunday and Monday Night Football. The Jaguars turnover heavy. Mahomes is not going to let you get easy interceptions. Mahomes and the passing offense looked back last week. I'm not fearful of the Trevor Lawrence offense as much. It looks like the live stream got disconnected for a second, but we're still recording. That's all right. All right, keep going.
I'm taking the Jets +2.5 against the Cowboys.
Should you switch it to the over?
Yeah, nothing for you. No.
It's 48.5, isn't it? That is a lot of points.
47. Yeah.
No, 47.
Cowboys coming off their Super Bowl. They tied the Packers.
The tied Super Bowl.
That's got to win a game, man. Like if Justin Fields can't win against this Cowboys defense, then it's kind of like the same deal. Like they might never win again. I could see this game going similar to the Steelers game.
Yeah.
We're like, let's just close it this time.
I again don't like it, but I like the reasoning, and I do think I mean if anyone's like everyone's been able to run all over the Cowboys defense, so this team loves to run. They're not doing that silly shit with Braylon Allen anymore. You just got to cut down on turnovers, kick the field goal when you should kick the field goal, and I think they could beat them. It's definitely a good test for, I mean, a great test for the Jets defense because the Cowboys offense has looked pretty awesome. But I think they got guys on there. They got guys on their defense. They can definitely
got players.
And I think after last night that they're going to be fired up. And I think the Cowboys are going to be fired up, but in kind of a victory way instead of we need to keep this going.
Down.
This is definitely a team though that the Cowboys would overlook. Right?
Yep.
So
it would be such a Cowboys loss.
So I like it. And then I have Eagles Broncos over 43.5. Two good defenses. I get it. Both good offenses though. That's kind of my reasoning. The Eagles, we didn't talk about that game at all. The second time the Bucks.
We talked about it before.
What?
We talked about it before the pod.
Yeah, we did talk about it before the pod. The Eagles did not have a completion in the second half. They still held on to the Bucks, who try to make a miraculous comeback again. But they scored. I mean, I think they played enough in the first half. They played well enough in the first half to keep scoring and or to win the game. So I think that they get points, and so do the Broncos. I just think it's back and forth. Even if there's interceptions and there's good defensive plays, um, I only need 43.5. And I guess unless it ends up like
Below
this,
total.
this like it literally needs to end up better, just a little bit better than Chargers Giants, and that can happen, right? Come on.
I'm taking the Seahawks -3 against the Bucks.
I really want you to talk yourself into this right now because I have no idea how you're gonna do that.
Well, for starters, Seattle has the mini bye after the Thursday night game.
Yep.
They're at home with one of the best home fields against a Bucks team that's very injured. And this is the best defense that they'll face. I guess Houston's defense is pretty good, but I think Seattle's is just as good. So it's not a great matchup when they don't have Mike Evans. They're banged up. Like the line is banged up. I know they got worse back, but I still think it's a great matchup. Like I think Darnold has played way better than we have expected. We both expected him to this season. I think nobody expects the Seahawks to be 4-1. So I kind of like this in a spot where like it just feels like there's no reason to take the Seahawks, but they're still favored, which makes me twitch a little bit.
They're nervous about Bucky Irving, so that's yet another injury for the Buccaneers. Yeah, I mean, I get it, and I see what you're doing here, so I respect it, and I'm not gonna say that I like it.
If I go 2-1, this is the rest of the season.
Say again.
If I go 2-1, like this is what the rest of the season is gonna look like.
You need a spark here, and you're going against
Yeah.
you're doing nobody believes in us here in week 4 or week 5, and I gotta respect it. So that is our wise
83%
picks.
of them.
Sorry, what?
83% of the money is on the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's probably all the Survivor League picks too for the week if you still have the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So I like that nobody believes in us. Just for quick clipping scenarios, I have Pats plus 8.5, Chiefs -3, and the Broncos Eagles over 43.5.
I have the Saints -1.5, the Jets +2.5, and the Seahawks -3.
It's like you could barely get it out. Those are the wise picks. We'll post a touchdown parlay, but we didn't think about it, so we'll do that when we post it on Saturday. Thank you all for listening. We'll see everyone next week